Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the book that I've finished recently, and that is The Binding by Bridget Collins. It says on the front, a breakout sensation of the year. Imagine you could hide a secret forever. Truly spend by binding, utterly brilliant, pure magic. And this is it here. What does it say on the back? Fascinating invokes the atmosphere of Sarah Walters. I've never read her actually. Books with a nod of Philip Pullman, a book that you'll want to lose yourself in for hours on end. That's by the stylist said that. So Emmett Farmer is a binder apprentice. His job is to handcraft beautiful books, and within each to capture something ultimate and extraordinary in memory. If you have something you want to forget or a secret to hide, he can bind it and you will never have to remember the pain it caused. In a vault under his mentor's workshop, row upon row of books and secrets are meticulously stored and recorded. Then one day Emmett makes an astonishing discovery. One of the volumes has his name on it. And it says a rich gothic entertainment that explores what books have trapped in them and reminds us of the power of storytelling. So this is it. Got it in the paperback version. What did I think about it? I enjoyed it. It took me a wee while to get into it, and like I've said many times before, with me reading, it's depending on my mood. So though it took me a while to read it, I did read a book in between as well, while reading this, that I wanted to get read for the end of April, which was supposedly for a book club choice, but nothing came of it really. But I read the book. I wanted to read it anyway. It was the Silent Patient. There should be a video up about that and what I thought of that particular book. So I interrupted reading this one to read that one. So it took me a bit longer than normal. So basically what it says is Emmett is a bookbinder and he's an apprentice. So it's a while he's training that before he starts to actually bind books himself. And when we say doing the binding part of it, it's the part where he actually takes the memories. Before that, his job is to probably sort of make the actual book, so sort of your coverings, gluing things together and things like that, and the actual binding part of it, of capturing the memories and putting them in a book, is done by his mentor. Due to circumstances, he is then thrown into actually becoming the binder. Before that, as I say, he's an apprentice, and the goal is to actually become a binder. Now, at the beginning of the book, he's not actually aware that he has the gift, and this is what is classed as a gift. Not everybody can be a binder. You have to have the gift to do this. Now, the first half of the book talks about how he moves away to become the apprentice. It talks a little bit about his health and what things are happening to him at home on the farm that he lives with his family before he goes away to become the apprentice. So the first half of the book I enjoyed less than the second, but it might have just purely been a thing of, like I say, mood of when I was reading, or that it took me a while to get into it. But like everybody recently, we've had ups and downs with our moods and things like that. So the first half is talking about his learning process, and his relationship with his mentor, and the life that they have. New discoveries, I suppose, for him, learning that he has this skill and how it affects him. Then I would probably say, well, actually that it does actually change. It turns I was going to say probably before halfway through the book. But the second part of the book really is more his experience. It goes a little bit into his life before and what leads in, so more into his, I was going to say his childhood, but his younger years and the experiences that affect him in later life. It taught and him when he binds somebody, his relationships. I really enjoyed this book. I picked it up from Waterstones. I think probably initially the cover drew me to it. I did think that it was a really, really good book and that I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it. I'm trying not to give spoilers away as to what happens. I enjoyed the way it ended. I was pleased, not to say what happened, but there's just relationships that he rediscovers towards the end of the book, and I was pleased that they had sort of, to say, come full circle, and you learn a lot more about him in the second half of the book, and it's not so much him just with his mentor. It's more it's more about his life and his experiences. For me, this is probably a 4.5, 5 book. Actually, I probably would give it a 5 because I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed their style of writing, and I would recommend it, and I will pass it on to a friend and give it, you know, send it on its book journey for somebody else to really enjoy, because it was just my type of book. It wasn't so much, you know, it was a little bit, so it wasn't your lovey-dovey chick-litty, it wasn't necessarily, well, it wasn't a thriller, it was a good book. I really enjoyed it and I would highly recommend reading that book. As I said, for me the second half was better than the first. I must admit I have heard of both of them authors mentioned on the back. So it's, what does it say? It says invokes the atmosphere of Sarah Waters, so I would probably look into her. And although I've heard of Philip Pullman, I would actually maybe, would encourage me to pick up a Philip Pullman book, because he's more of his, isn't he, more, not to say fantasy, but yeah. Obviously this is fiction, but yeah, I thought it does say utterly brilliant, truly spellbinding, pure magic. Yeah, and I can see why it was a Times bestseller. So if you've enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, then please do. Comment down below, have you read this book? If so, what did you think of it? Would you recommend it? But for me, it's 5 stars. So take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very shortly when we do this all again in another video. Bye-bye.